Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's write some more Leetcode today. So today let's solve the problem find unique binary string, a problem from this afternoon's Leetcode contest. And the thing about this problem is that you probably know how to solve it immediately as soon as you read it, but you might not know how to code it up, and that's, I guess, what I'm going to be focusing on. So we're given an array of strings. There's going to be n strings. All of them are going to be unique. Each of them is going to be of length n. They're all going to be binary strings, and we want to return a binary string of the same length n that does not exist in this set. If there's multiple answers, we can return any of them. So if there's n strings, if a binary string is of length n, how many possibilities are there? There's going to be 2 to the power of n possibilities, right? And we're only given n of those strings. So obviously, if there's 2 to the power of n, there's going to be a lot to choose from. So we can choose any of them. Now, what's the easiest way to do this? Since there's a guaranteed solution, we can just start at, the 0, 0 case and then just start adding and then continuously trying a new string and seeing, does it exist in this set? If it doesn't exist in the set, then we can return this as the solution. If it does exist, then we're going to go to the next string. So we'll just add 1 to this, right? So it's a binary string, add 1, and then we try this. Does this exist? Okay, right now, yes, it does. Then we'd add 1 more. And then we'd get this string, right? This binary string. Okay, does this exist? Yes, it does. So then we add 1 more. Okay, now we get 1, 1. So 1, 1 does not exist in here. So then we can return this as the solution. That's the one that we returned in this case. We could have also returned 0, 0. Now, one optimization is how can we quickly check if this string exists in the given set? Well, we can convert this. It's not really a set right now, but we can convert this into a hash set. Right now it's a list, but we can convert it into a hash set. What's the time complexity of this going to be? Like, since we're brute forcing it, how many attempts, how many numbers is it going to take us? How many times are we going to have to count before we can find one that's in this set? Well, there's only n in this set, so worst case, we have to try n plus 1 different strings, and that's the worst case. And then when we're checking the operation, does the string exist in the hash set? Is that going to take some extra time? Well, the string is of length n, and to hash a string of length n, it is going to take an n time operation. So overall, the time complexity, this can be reduced to n. So we can just say the overall time complexity is n squared, where n is the length of any particular string. And like I said, the hard part about this is going to be coding it up. So there's probably a lot of different approaches you can take. I'm going to probably do one that's probably not the best, but it's the one that I was able to come up with first. So instead of actually counting, starting at 0 and then just adding 1 each time, I'm going to do slightly different because this is how I can code it up. We can do like a backtracking approach, right? So, we can say, okay, the first character in our string, and this backtracking is going to have a height of n. So if n is 2, then the height of the backtracking is going to be 2. If it's 3, the height of the backtracking is going to be 3. But we're going to generate a bunch of binary strings until we find the right one. So we're going to take one decision to be 0, one decision to be 1, one decision to be 0, one decision to be 1. And just continue going like this until we reach the bottom level. Like basically we've gotten a length of 2. We don't want to create a longer string than 2 because that's the length of these. So then we're going to check this one, right? So this is the first one that we were able to generate. Does this one exist in the input? It does not. So then we can return this string immediately, right? 0, 0. Now, if it did already exist in nums, then we would have to try the next string, right? Then we'd have to try this one, right? But the point here is, even though we're doing a whole backtracking approach, even though we're going to be generating a bunch of strings, we're not going to be necessarily generating all 2 to the power of n strings, because as soon as we find one that works for us, we're going to return it immediately and then completely stop the backtracking. So the time complexity is not going to be 2 to the power of n. It's still going to be n squared. This is what I was able to come up with. I'm looking forward to seeing what smarter people than me were able to come up with. With that being said, we can jump into the code now. Now let's write the code, and remember, we are going to be converting the input nums into a hash set. So in Python, you can do it kind of easily like this. For every single string in nums, I'm just going to add it to this hash set, but other languages, I'm sure you can do it similarly. And I'm going to do this recursively backtracking, right? So 2 parameters we're going to maintain: what the current string or first actually what the current index we're at, right? So what position that we're at in the string that we're generating, and whatever that current string actually happens to be so far. And what's the base case going to be? Remember, we're going to stop as soon as we've gotten n characters. So as soon as our index I is equal to the length of the input nums, then that means we have made it as big as it can be. So that's going to be our base case. I'm not going to handle this just yet. First, I'm going to tell you how we're actually going to call this backtracking function. We know this backtracking is guaranteed to have the correct result, right? So we'll pass in 0 at the beginning. That's the index we're going to start at. And for current, what are we going to pass in? In most languages, I think you can do a string, but Python is kind of annoying. You can't modify the index of a string. So I'm going to be using an array, and then at the end, I'm going to change the array to be a string so that we make sure that we return a string, because that's what they want us to do. So I'm going to create a binary string of length n. Initially, it's going to be all zeros, so whatever for how many characters happen to be in nums, or how many strings happen to be in nums, I think. So we're passing an array of n zeros, and whatever result this backtracking returns, that's what the answer to this problem is going to be. So now that you know this is what we're passing in, how are we going to actually handle the base case? We want to know, once we've gotten a string of length n, is this string in current equal to one of these in the string set? How can we do that? Well, in Python, first you have to take this array and then turn it into a string. So you can do that like this. You can join all the strings in current to be a string. So let's assign that to result, and we'll check. We're going to return null if this result is in the string set, because remember, we're trying to return a string that's not in the string set. So if it is in the string set, then we're returning null. But if it's not in the string set, then we can actually return this result. That means we found the solution, we're good to go. So as soon as we find that solution, we return it immediately, and then we stop our function. If we don't find it, then we obviously have to continue. So then we do our backtracking, right? So like I said, we're going to only have two choices. So we're only going to call the backtracking 2 separate times. We're going to obviously for the index pass in I+1 because we want to shift to the next position each time. For current, we're just going to leave current as it is. So this is kind of the case where the position at index I is just going to stay as 0, right? This is the decision where we choose 0, and then we'll get whatever the result was returned to us. And if that result is non-null, right, because we're returning 2 possible values, either a string or null value. So if it's not null, then we're going to immediately return. This step is important because we don't want to generate extra strings that we don't need to. If we find the result, we return it immediately. Unfortunately, this is going to, basically, I'm going to have to copy and paste these 2 lines. And I'm pretty sure there's probably an easier way to do this code. Maybe you don't even need backtracking, but that's what I was able to come up with. So if there's a cleaner way, let me know. But for now, I'm just going to copy and paste these 2 lines. So we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to change our decision, right? Instead of choosing 0, we're going to change our decision to be 1. So at index I in current, instead of, remember by default, it was 0, right? That's what we did down here. I'm going to change it to 1. So that's the second decision. So that's the main logic. So if we find the result here, we return it. If we find the result here, we return it. By default, what Python does is it returns null. So if this if statement doesn't execute, then by default, it'll end up returning null. And that is possible because in some of the recursive calls, it could return null, but at the root call, this root call that we do down here, this is never going to return null, just so you know. So that is the entire code. I'll run it to make sure that it works, but I already did that in the contest. So as you can see down below, it was accepted. I'm sure it's not the most efficient. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to do this problem. Let me know in the comments. But I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe. It supports the channel a lot. Consider checking out my Patreon to support the channel, and hopefully I'll see you pretty soon. Thanks for watching.